The story begins with a boy named Armand who arrives at a restaurant with his girlfriend. As they sit and enjoy a lovely conversation, a man walks over and sits next to them. In front of Armand, the man calls his daughter and informs her that he's just met his son-in-law. But he doesn't mention anything about Armand's girlfriend. To avoid his father-in-law's probing questions, Armand quickly exits the restaurant, leaving his girlfriend behind. The scene then shifts to Tursun, who arrives home to find his wife, Alina, waiting eagerly for him. Today is their wedding anniversary. Tursun, with a smile on his face, reveals that he's bought her a gift. Alina, full of excitement, thinks he's going to surprise her with a shiny new car. But to her disappointment, Tursun hands her a new washing machine instead. Alina's joy quickly turns to frustration. When Tursun checks his savings, he realizes the money is gone. He confronts Alina, and she admits that she spent the money on an expensive dress. She also mentions that her friend's husband took her friend to Europe for their anniversary. Meanwhile, Armand calls Tursun. Tursun pretends that Armand is jealous of their washing machine, trying to lighten the situation. When Tursun asks Alina to eat, she continues to praise her friend's husband, which only irritates him further. In an effort to cool off, Tursun steps outside to take out the trash and finds Armand hiding behind a dustbin. Armand decides to stay at Tursun's house, but after thinking about Alina's behavior, Tursun decides to take her out to a cafe. On their way, they run into Tima, a taxi driver, and tell him about Armand's situation. Tursun also calls Alina, telling her to come outside, but she scolds him angrily and hangs up. Tima, seeing the situation, remarks that he's happy living with just his car. The trio then notices a girl, Sophia, on the street with a car that won't start. She asks for help, but the three of them mock her driving skills and leave. However, as they continue, a police officer stops them, and due to their expired driving license, Tima's car is towed away. The three are left stranded on the street, asking for a lift. Miraculously, Sophia returns in her car and offers to help them. Tursun reflects on his wife, Alina, while Armand points out that neither of them seem happy in their marriages. The trio begins to joke that women are the source of all their problems. Tima adds that if the traffic officer were a woman, he would have engaged her in conversation to avoid getting his car towed. Armand jokes about a world where girls have no fathers or brothers. Tursun vents about Alina's friend's husband, which only leads to further humiliation from Alina. Sophia, overhearing their conversation, offers to take them to a world where women rule. But the trio dismisses her idea, not believing there could be such a place. After a while, they arrive in front of a bar, and as they prepare to pay Sophia for the ride, she refuses the money. Tursun and Armand enter the bar and are stunned by the sight inside. It's full of women, all excited to see them. The women offer them drinks and free services. Armand checks his phone and is shocked to see that only women's numbers are saved in his contact list. When Tursun asks the waitress about the men's washroom, she replies that there isn't one because they never expected men to come. Both Armand and Tursun are horrified, but also amused by the situation. Tima soon joins them and reveals that even the police officers in this world are women. Sophia appears and tells them they have just one day to stay in this world, and for that one day, they won't see any men. However, they must follow a rule. No photos or videos are allowed. Sophia also gives Tima the keys to his confiscated car, making him the first male taxi driver in this world. The trio is both excited and confused about this strange new world. Tursun, however, starts to worry about Alina and insists on returning home. Sophia reassures him that one day in this world equals just 1 second in the real world, so no one will notice they've been gone. The three friends explore the city, drawing attention from women everywhere. Tima, thinking about his taxi career, starts imagining the potential money he could earn here. However, Tursun is still preoccupied with Alina and insists on returning home. As they drive on, they are stopped by a female traffic officer who demands they exit the car. Tima, in a panic, runs away, but the officer instead kisses him and apologizes, explaining that she didn't mean to kiss him while on duty. The trio then heads to a club, where they are treated like celebrities by the women. Tursun, Armand, and Tima revel in the attention. Armand flirts with a waitress, but she turns out to be an agent and walks away. Tursun is pleased to see that even in this female-dominated world, there are women who value self-respect. Later, a female security guard asks Tima to leave because a lady has come to meet him. It turns out to be the same traffic officer, and Tima, trying to avoid her, claims not to know her. After this encounter, Tursun suggests they leave the club, but just before they go, the waitress hands them the bill and informs them that everything is free for men, but men must pay for the women's bills. The bills, however, are far beyond their budgets. Armand suggests they stay until morning, as their day will soon be over. As they leave the bar, the girls they had been interacting with are suddenly replaced by boys. Realizing they are trapped in a world full of men, they rush outside to find Sophia. She tells them that if they reject the advances of any man in this world, they will remain trapped here forever. They quickly pay the bill and are confronted by the traffic officer, who asks Tima to go for a ride. Tima reluctantly agrees, and they finally return to the real world. The next morning, Tursun is with Alina, who speaks sweetly to him, asking him to bring some things. Meanwhile, Armand is still helping the old woman with household chores. Later, Tima listens to a radio broadcast, but when a female announcer comes on, he quickly switches it off, and all the girls around him transform into boys. Back at the old woman's house, Armand notices she's fallen asleep, and he takes the chance to escape. He meets Diana, the same waitress who had been cold to him earlier, in the park. She opens up about her love for painting, and they have a pleasant conversation. Meanwhile, Tima has another encounter with the traffic officer, and Tursun sits nervously at a restaurant with Alina, fearing he will have to pay for all the girls' meals. However, a dispute arises between some ladies who want the table that Tursun and Alina are occupying. Seeing this, Alina suggests they leave, and Tursun agrees. Armand and Diana enjoy their time at a cafe, but Diana begins to fade away. Armand realizes he hasn't bought the things Alina asked for, and rushes out to fulfill her request. Back at the hotel, Tima is still trying to avoid the traffic officer, and in his panic, he triggers a fire alarm. All the guests are evacuated, and the officer is left frustrated. Meanwhile, Armand calls Alina to tell her he's bought everything she wanted, but she asks him to come another day. Feeling guilty, Armand rushes back to Diana. As he heads towards her house, the same old woman catches him again and insists that he massage her feet. Meanwhile, Diana appears, revealing she is the old woman's granddaughter. Diana and Armand decide to go for a walk, but the old woman stops Armand from kissing Diana. Back at the hotel, Tima is cornered by the traffic officer. To escape, he hides in the bathroom and causes a fire alarm, throwing the entire hotel into chaos. Diana and Armand enjoy their walk, and she gets a portrait made at Armand's request. Diana doesn't understand why he's painting her, as he could have just taken a photo. But Armand explains that due to the rules of their world, photos are forbidden. At the end of the day, Sophia informs them that only those who came in her taxi can return to the real world. Armand decides to bring Diana with him instead of Sophia. Together, they go to her grandmother's house, but Diana refuses to open the door. Sophia, angry with the trio for their actions, decides to leave them in the female-dominated world. But the friends apologize, and after convincing her, they all return to the real world. Back in the real world, Tursun presents Alina with flowers, and Armand searches for Diana, but cannot find her. Tursun sells the washing machine and takes Alina to Paris. Tima gets his car back and meets the traffic officer, but this time, they have a pleasant conversation. Armand, still searching for Diana, finds her at an art school and finally completes the portrait. The movie ends on a happy note, with Armand and Diana reconnecting. So friends, how did you like this movie? Please share your thoughts in the comments, like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. See you in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.